Marjorie Taylor Greene demands accounting of billions of dollars sent to Ukraine. She's one of the only people in government that's actually talking about the money that's being given to Ukraine and finding out where it's actually going. We really don't know where the money is actually going. I, for one, thought we should never gave any money to Ukraine at all, and instead that money being sent to them could be do something like for infrastructure, for instance, or helping people in need. But no, they'd rather send the money over to a foreign country, and they doing this because my other video that I just sent out today talks about the money laundering that's going on in Ukraine. But before we get started, go ahead, hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Now, when you hit that alarm bell, you can change it from personal to all. That way, you get all the notifications from when I'm putting out stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. Has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. And there's also a link to my Instagram where I put out even more news throughout the day. All right, let's talk about this news. Firebrand Georgia Republican Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene is letting the Biden administration know what one of the first items on the agenda if Republicans win the House. In one of her most popular tweets ever, the Republican demanded to know where, quote, every single penny of funding to Ukraine for its war with Russia has gone. Quote, I want an audit of where every single penny has gone in funding to Ukraine. Everyone is okay with that, right? The representative said. I know, you know, they aren't really okay with that. But then you would ask the question, why aren't they okay with every single penny being accounted for? It's because it's being laundered. We now know that a lot of the money that went to Ukraine was put into the FTX, which in turn was sent out to Democrat PACs for midterm. There's a bunch of shenanigans going on there. But this month, prior to the midterm elections, the representative said that Ukraine would not receive another penny if Republicans won the House. The only border they care, she says, quote, the only border they care about is Ukraine, not American southern borders. Under Republicans, not another penny will go to Ukraine. Our country comes first. They don't care about our border or our people. The representative cruised to victory this week in her election in Georgia. She was declared the winner of her race in Georgia. Greene defeated Democrat challenger Marcus Flowers for the state's 14th congressional district. Flowers raised over $15 million, more than any congressional candidate across the entire country, to defeat Greene, but did not come close to defeating Greene. And Greene made some noise last week when she spoke to a New York Times reporter. New York Times Magazine writer Robert Draper appeared on MSNBC on Saturday and said that the firebrand representative has said to him that she may be on the ticket with former President Donald Trump in 2024, Mediaite reported. Trump is said to be looking for a female to campaign with him if he decides he will attempt to become president again in 2024, a decision he has not made. The writer said that it is, quote, likely that the former president has had the same conversations with other prominent Republican women. Quote, to be fair, Ali, it's very likely that Trump has had this conversation with half a dozen other people, too, he said to host Ali Velshi. But he said there's something she has that others may not have. Quote, what Greene possesses that Trump so craves is loyalty. She has always been there for Trump. She's always had his back. And after his experience with his last running mate, Mike Pence, it's clear that he's going to prize loyalty above all else. So I don't count it out, he said. When Draper spoke to the Daily Beast new Abnormal podcast, he said that, quote, Greene has risen quickly in her first term in Congress by using the same tactics she honed as a right wing social media influencer, harassing Democratic staffers. And she said, I'm sorry, hold on, I'll get to it in a second. And she could shoot to the second highest office in government. Raw story reported. How is she harassing staffers? So now, speaking up for yourself, speaking truth, and answering questions, that's now considered harassment. This is ridiculous. But quote, Republicans kind of wanted to kick her to the curb immediately, said Draper per the outlet, but instead she became a fundraising dynamo, came to have the huge social media influence, and ultimately came to be very influential within the party. That's because the people stand with her. She says with a lot of people, what's on a lot of people's minds, and she's not really she's not very she doesn't play politics. She's not political with it. She speaks what's on her mind, and a lot of people gravitate towards that. But Draper went on to say that Trump has been seriously discussing Greene as a potential VP since February, and though he has likely considered others as well, Greene has another quality that may propel her to the top, the report said. Quote, she has been unflaggingly loyal to Trump throughout. Draper said, what is Trump concerned about most of all in a VP after the Mike Pence experience? Loyalty. He knows that if he needs someone to fight for him to overturn a presidential election, he has every reason to expect that Greene would be by his side and would be his proximate warrior. Greene is not the only female Republican lawmaker under consideration by Trump, according to previous reports. Several recent reports seem focused on one name, New York Rep. Elise Stefanik, currently her party's number 3 ranking member. In a September foreign policy story titled, quote, Elise Stefanik is most likely to succeed, the author details, quote, a young woman once hailed as the future of the Republican Party embraces Trumpism to stay that way. But we don't know what's going to happen yet. If Taylor Greene would run with Trump, or even if Trump will run or not. There are strong indications that Trump will run. I like a Trump Marie Taylor Greene ticket. And she's actually one, like I said, she's one of the only people that's speaking out against all the money that's being sent to Ukraine. So we'll see if she'll continue to speak out against that. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.